right, you broke me down. Here's the video. Alex Nylander is a Leaf. Well, he's not a Leaf. You know what? Wardrobe change. Okay, there we go. Alex Nylander is a Marley. He might be a Leaf, but he's not a Leaf yet. He's a Marley. Steve, that's not very optimistic. It's not about optimism. Let me explain. The Marlies posted this tweet, and it's not every day you get a tweet looking like this. An NHL player signing an AHL deal with them in an NHL jersey. Because, let's be honest, he should probably be in the NHL. They've announced we've signed Alex Nylander to a 1-year AHL contract. So when I say Nylander, well, Alex, this is going to be an adjustment. So when I say Alex Nylander is going to be on the Marlies and not the Leafs, it's not because I'm like, he's not good enough. It's not about that. I actually kind of wondered if he'd be getting an NHL deal with the Leafs. It's that he literally cannot play on the Toronto Maple Leafs, definitely in the regular season or playoffs, without an NHL contract. And that's not what he signed today. He signed an AHL deal. Now, it's not impossible for a player to play so well on an AHL deal that he earns an NHL deal. It's very difficult, though, especially mid-season. And I'm seeing a lot of speculation like, oh, you know what? The Leafs are actually kind of weak on the left side, and I agree. They could use some help on the wings, and I think I agree. And Alex Nylander is a pretty good player. I agree. Maybe he'll sign an NHL contract that allows him to play with the Leafs mid-season. And the Leafs, in recent years, have graduated a bunch of guys from AHL contracts to NHL contracts because they played so well. Up front, they had Trevor Moore. I know. Trevor Moore, who was really a diamond in the rough find. And Justin Holl. And I know a lot of people are like, ugh, Justin Holl. Dude. To do what he did is pretty special, and it's not all that common. To go from the ECHL on an AHL deal and play so well that he earned an NHL deal and then played hundreds of games in the NHL, and he's still in the NHL making millions of dollars. You know, we can have a debate as to whether or not he should, but he's in the NHL. That is a special thing. And there are a billion other examples throughout the NHL. Actually, you know one I forgot? Mason Marchment. Maybe there's a reason I forgot about that one. It's depressing. So Steve, you're telling me there's all these guys who have signed AHL deals. Why do you think he won't sign an NHL deal? Well, we've done this a bunch of times in recent years when a player has gotten hot. Josh Ho-Sang, real hot start with the Toronto Marlies a few years ago. Even had himself a little look on the Canadian Olympic team. Remember that? No NHL players were allowed on the Olympic team. I think that was maybe the most important part of that whole story. And also last year, man, I really thought the Leafs were heading towards an NHL contract with Kiefer Bellows. He joined the Marlies and was unbelievable, and now he signed an NHL contract with the Nashville Predators, where I have no doubt he'll be great. For now, whether Alex Nylander plays NHL games for the Leafs or not, who cares? Regardless of whether or not he has an actual on-ice impact for the Leafs, this is a good thing. Number one, finally. It felt like it was heading in this direction for a very long time. Alex Nylander having trouble sticking in the NHL after being a top 10 pick in the NHL. 8th overall, just like his brother Willie, except this was in 2016 to the Buffalo Sabres. He's finally here, and at very minimum, he'll help keep Willie, who doesn't really have a hard time staying in his happy place. And keep in mind, these guys are professionals, and they're not just there to hang out with each other. Just because they play in the same city doesn't mean they're always going to be in the same city and available. Marlies don't always play in Toronto. The Leafs don't always play in Toronto, and they're definitely not always in Toronto at the same time. I wonder if someone told Alex Nylander about the boat show that keeps the Marlies out of their home building for a month every November. But also, he's a good player. I wouldn't say he's too good for the AHL because no player on an AHL contract is too good for the AHL. You can think he's good enough for the NHL, but that doesn't mean he's too good for the AHL. You see what I mean? 2 seasons ago with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, in 55 games, Alex Nylander had 25 goals, 25 assists for 50 points. That is really, really, really good in the American League. Last year in the minors with the Penguins, he had 17 goals, 15 assists, 32 points in 43 games. meh. It's still good. It's still good. It's just not as good. In 9 games with the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL, he had a goal and an assist for 2 points. And then last year, in 5 games with the Penguins, he had no goals and no assists for no points. Then in February, he was traded from the Penguins to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Emil Bemstrom and a pick. And oh my gosh, in 23 games with the Columbus Blue Jackets in the NHL, a terrible team, a genuinely terrible, terrible, terrible team who desperately needed warm bodies with a pulse. Alex Nylander had 11 goals and 4 assists for 15 points in those 23 games. How good is 11 goals in 23 games at the NHL level? Let me tell you. Alex Nylander's first game with the Columbus Blue Jackets was February 25th. Ask yourself, I wonder how many players had more goals in the NHL from February 25th onward. The answer is 32, which is a lot, but it's a lot less than you thought, isn't it? I got this from quanthockey.com. Here's a list of players who had the exact same amount of goals from February 25th onward until the end of the season. Andrei Kuzmenko, Clayton Keller, Connor McDavid, David Pastrnak, there's Alex Nylander, William Karlsson, Tyler Bertuzzi, he was hot during that stretch, Yegor Sharangovich, Nick Suzuki, Alexei Lafreniere, Alex Killorn? What are you doing there? Okay, Bo Horvat, Frank Vetrano, Sidney Crosby, and Evgeny Malkin. And none of those guys were really slumping. Maybe Pasta? 11 goals over 25 games, spread over an 82-game season, is roughly a 36-goal pace. This dude went off on a genuinely terrible team, but he went off during that stretch. So why is it good to have a good player on your AHL team when they might not have an on-ice impact for your NHL team? Well, your AHL players who are on NHL contracts, a lot of them, get to play with a guy who should probably be an NHL player. A lot of people don't really understand what the AHL is about. It's not just AHLers playing against AHLers. A lot of these guys have NHL talent. They just haven't found themselves the right situation. Or they have NHL capabilities, but an aspect or two to their game that holds them back. To be honest, I am willing to bet that flash in the pan with the Columbus Blue Jackets will not be the last time that Alex Nylander goes off in the NHL. I don't even know if it'll be with the Leafs. I think he could go off with someone else. Again, 8th overall pick, 2016, with the Buffalo Sabres. He played with the Sabres from the 16-17 season to the 18-19 season, and what we know about the Sabres during those seasons is they stunk! Then he went to the Chicago Blackhawks for the 19-20 season, not much better. The Penguins, each of the last 2 seasons, boo. And then sure enough, he went to Columbus where they're like, fine, go off, we stink. We stink even more than those guys. And the dude just lights it up. Now, do I expect him to always score at a 36-goal pace in the NHL? No. But I wouldn't be shocked if at some point in his career, he scored 20. But for now, he's going to be playing on the Toronto Marlies. And honestly, I think of a guy like Nick Abruzzese, who's already sort of on the precipice of at least playing NHL games. I don't know about making the team out of camp. Maybe. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. But he could definitely be called up. A left-handed playmaking center playing with Alex Nylander, a right-handed sniper. Ugh. I think those guys could tear offenses up with the Marlies. But this also sort of helps confirm something that I was tweeting about and then talking about on the podcast. Dude, it's the end of July. If you're not signed to a contract by now, you're kind of screwed. Daniel Sprong, who has scored 21 and 18 goals in each of the last 2 seasons, just signed for under $1 million in Vancouver. Could he have gotten more than that if he had simply signed an offer that he got on July 1st? We'll never know. My guess is probably. Did Alex Nylander get an offer? Did Alex Nylander not get a single NHL offer this entire summer? I would be flabbergasted, completely shocked. But he gets to live in a pretty cool city by AHL standards. No offense. It's a big city by AHL standards. And it's the same city that his brother lives in. That's cool. He gets to use an NHL training facility. That's nice. The Leafs organization probably threw him a bunch of money that he probably wasn't getting offered by a lot of other AHL teams. There were a lot of reasons for Alex Nylander to sign this deal. And here's the great thing. If he tears it up, if he absolutely tears it up, the Leafs can sign him to an NHL deal, and all 31 other NHL teams can sign him to an AHL deal. He's not property of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He signed a contract with the Toronto Marlies of the AHL. If another team offers him an NHL contract and he wants to sign it, all right, there you go. On your way out the door. Best of luck in your endeavors. Right now, at this point in his career, maybe this is what's best for him. He's obviously a talented player. He obviously hasn't performed well, for the most part, except for that one stint in Columbus, in the NHL. I wouldn't be shocked if he rediscovered his game here, and who knows what after that. So, what do you think about Alex Nylander signing with the Toronto Marlies? The Marlies. He signed with the Marlies. Let me know in the comment box down below, but for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Brand new Steve Dangle podcast tomorrow. Or is it today? Drew, when did you edit this video? Put it... Okay, I got it. I'll go. Okay.